Please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Welcome back. Well, the Nifty is moving from strength to strength. Big boy SBI, that's moved higher. Lupin, Dr. Reddy's, both those two pharma stocks, they have moved higher as well. So pretty good going. But the reason that the Nifty has moved higher, I think, so it's got a bit of a boost coming in from ICICI Bank. Now, that was in the red at the start of the show. That's moved into the green, and that's always good news. Let's pull up ICICI Bank as well as IndusInd Bank. Both of them are doing quite well. The Nifty Bank now up 165 points. So pretty good going. As we speak, more number of stocks that are advancing in comparison to the number of stocks that are declining. And from the broader markets, even something like a Torrent Power, that's moved higher. That was trading in the red. That's moved into the green. And we have GMR Infra as well. The promoter has been buying. Remember, it's not created a lot of wealth in the last few years. But, the promoter has been buying from the open market, bought around 1.5 crore shares just around a week ago. Yesterday as well, they filed a release that it bought nearly around 50 lakh shares. So keep an eye out on a couple of these developments. But as promised, Kridhan Infra, that's a stock in focus after its associate company, that's VNV, has won an order worth around 180 crores. We have Mr. Anil Agrawal, the managing director of the company, who joins us on the phone line to run us through details of this order. Hi, Mr. Agrawal. Thanks so much for joining in, sir. This is your associate company, I believe. So what kind of a stake do you have out here? What's the order book in this associate company? And 180 crores, how fast do you have to execute it?
So we have 41% stake in this company called Vijay Nirman Company, based out of South India. The current order book in this company is 2,900 crores pending order book to be executed. And the current 180 crore order is to be executed in 15 months.
Okay. Mr. Agrawal, if you could just give us a sense of what the deal pipeline is looking like, because your revenue guidance is looking very steep compared to what you've delivered. You're guiding for what, 1,800 to 2,000 crore of revenues in FY19 versus what, 700 and 750 crore of revenues that you actually delivered in FY18.
See, if you see, we've been growing inorganic year by year, and currently we hold 41% in Vijay Nirman Company, which is not being consolidated as of now. We are looking forward to rising our stake to 50.5% in the current financial year.
Okay.
And if you see the consolidated numbers together, currently itself is 1,500 crores, which we are sure to make it to 1,800 to 2,000 crore, which is a mere 20-25% growth. Based on the current orders in hand, our collective order book is 3,500 crores, which have to be completed in this year, a large portion of it.
So you're looking to increase, you're looking to make this company, that's what's VNC, you're looking to make it from associate into a subsidiary, correct?
Yes.
So you'll be increasing your stake from around 41% to 50.5%.
Yes.
That's right. How much do you pay for that 9.5%?
So it was a mix of deal. We took some stake from private equity players in February 2018, and the balance is for around 45 to 50 crores. So we are paying in stages. 45
to 50 crores for around 9%, right?
For the balance 15%, we have already acquired 8% out of it. So another 15 to 20 crores is pending to be paid, but it's largely because of some technical NOCs from the bank before we change in management.
So you're saying 15% cost you 50 crores?
You can say that.
Okay. Would you look to increase your stake beyond this 50.5%?
We have not thought about it as of now, because we have to, in any strategic acquisition, you have to give it time to understand the culturals of both the companies, and we can decide on it a little later.
Okay. And how soon do you expect all the required documents for you to increase your stake to a majority holding?
We have applied to the financial institutions for an approval. As soon as we get the NOCs, we will be able to raise the stake.
15% for 50 crores, so this entity will be valued at around 330 crores, correct?
So it's a mix. It's a primary infusion in the company. It's not a secondary infusion. It's a primary infusion, so around 250 to 300 crores, which we did last year when the company did a top line of 600 crores. This year, the company has did a top line of 880 crores. So already the company has grown by the time we started putting money and signed the share purchase agreement, and today.
Okay. Mr. Agrawal, just to shift tracks, has the company bid for TechPro Systems, which is currently under the insolvency route?
No, this company has nothing to do with TechPro. It was my personal venture into TechPro, which I tried to bid because I believe in turnarounds, and I've done successfully 3 turnarounds. So this has nothing to do with Kridhan Infra. It's on my personal capacity.
Okay, so your shareholder should not be bothered about that then. I'm
Yes.
looking at the promoter holding. It's come down to around 47% from around 50% approximately. You had raised some money?
So we did a QIP in December 2017.
Okay, for how much?
For 120 crores.
Okay.
Diluting around 15% of the stake, and that's why the shareholding has come down.
Okay, so and you're fully funded now. How is your balance sheet looking? 120 crores you've raised as well recently. You've got a good order book, but do you have any further funding requirements?
We're not looking at diluting any further because we are decently funded. We are on very low debt equity ratio, so I hope we should be able to manage with the current order books in hand.
Would Kridhan Infra be interested in any stressed asset?
Sorry?
Would Kridhan Infra, the listed entity, be interested in any stressed asset?
So we have done a full circle from buying a stake in a Singapore entity which was under stress in 2011. That's how we started, which was foundation engineering. Now we have moved up to the last leg of an EPC. I think so far we are comfortable in what we have in hand. And this itself has a lot of growth opportunities in Vijay Nirman Company. Looking at how EPC plays in India, and we are in good verticals of bridges. We are the top 2 or 3 technically qualified people to do long bridges in the country, as well as we are in a lucrative affordable housing segment, doing good order for AP TITCO. I think we have, and airports for, just now I heard about GMR, so we are doing airports for expansion for them in Hyderabad. We are in decent verticals, and there are a lot of scope for this verticals itself to grow into a large size.
So break up your verticals for us, sir. Break it up for us. Airports, EPC, highways.
We do airports.
Yeah.
We do airports. We do
as a percentage,
affordable
sir.
housing.
If I need to break up the current order book in a percentage terms, very roughly, you could help our viewers, help our investors out.
I can say we do around 30% of bridges.
Okay.
40% of affordable housing in the current order book.
Okay.
Around 20 to 25% in foundation engineering.
Okay.
And another 20-25% in airports and other commercial buildings.
And you don't have any big debt in your books, you said, right? What is that number?
My current debt is close to 250 crores.
So that's not a big number. Finally, you're talking about increasing your stake in your associate company. Would there be a temptation to move back to around 50% in the listed entity? You're at around 47%. You were at 50% earlier, but you did some dilution. So given that things are looking so good, do you have the temptation to go ahead and creep from the market, go back to 50% at some point of time? Or that's not on the cards?
It's 47 or 50 is all in the mind. We are a professional organization. It really doesn't matter for me as long as there are good financial institutions.
Short point, you're not looking at doing that.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Agrawal, for stopping by and giving us all those details.
Okay, stock high, 4.5%. Get into a break then. We'll come back and address the markets in greater detail. We'll get chatting about Maharashtra scooters as well. So stay tuned for that.
Well, we're looking at Maharashtra scooters. The stock has seen a bit of a rally, in the recent past, in the last month or so. I remember on the day that, in fact, we had the Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv came out with a set of numbers, the stock was hovering at around 2,300, 2,350. Now, from there, it's seen a bit of a move, so just taking a look at it, what does the company do? It's more of an investment company. It's a holding company. Basically, they have stakes in Bajaj Finserv, Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Auto, and another holding company, that's Bajaj Holding. Remember, they're holding these shares as a non-promoter entity. And in fact, if you just stack the numbers up, the current market capitalization is around 3,240 crores approximately. But they have listed investments in all these companies that I just named. That, in fact, is valued at around 9,540 crores. So, the holding company discount is roughly around 70% or thereabouts. Besides that, they're paying dividend for the last few years, 25 to around 30 rupees odd. But, the big trigger for the stock really will be that it has 2 promoters now. One is Bajaj Holdings and Investment Limited. They have nearly around 24% stake. And Western Maharashtra Development Cooperative Limited. They, in fact, have nearly around 27% stake. So there was an offer that was made earlier a few years ago. It's still in the courtrooms. So the outcome of that verdict really will help the stock and give it some direction going ahead. In the last 1 month, the stock has rallied, I think, nearly around 13 to around 14% if you pull up a wider time horizon, Rima.
All right, let's move on and get chatting about State Bank of India and the kind of stress resolution it's expected to see. We spoke to the management earlier. They've set a date for NPA resolution. So Mr. Sriram, who is the MD of corporate banking, we spoke to him earlier today. He said that the first list of 12 accounts under NCLT should get resolved by September. The bank also expects higher recoveries in the later part of FY19.
The 50,000 crores that was mentioned was in terms of reduction in NPLs. It is not in terms of the recoveries as such, or the write-backs as such. But 50,000 crores, as I said, we already hold 50,000 crores of NPLs on list 1. And is more likely than ever before that we should be able to recover, or rather reduce the NPLs of at least that 50,000 crores. It's likely that some of the accounts where we hold larger provisions and recoveries are better, we may need to hold for some provisions that we may require in other accounts during the other quarters of the year. And the same fact goes for the ones that probably where we resolve faster and where it could require more provisioning to be done. Maybe in the initial quarters the provisioning will be higher, but these will be offset by the recoveries, higher recoveries that happen during later part of the year. We have to respect that the law is relatively young, and there has been another ordinance which has come in recently, and surely there will be testing of the law in some way or the other. But if you see the experience, I think we have been able to resolve 2 of the 12 accounts. They are pretty reasonably large accounts. And I'm quite reasonably sure, and because of the focus that even the courts, the NCLT courts have been fixing dates, which has been reasonably faster. We are quite hopeful that by end of September, at least the first list of these 12 accounts should be behind us.
We'll expect the FY19 loan growth to be in the range of around 15 to around 18%. That's the word that's coming in from the MD and CEO of Karur Vysya Bank. He adds that he's confident of turning around the bank's performance in FY19. Let's listen in.
Over the last year, our pre-provisioning operating profit was roughly about 1,800 crores, 1,777 to be exact. And we think that can grow. And as I said, we have pricing power, so we should be able to grow the pre-provisioning operating profit reasonably healthily. On the small SME business, we are seeing a very, very strong demand. And we think that, as a consequence, our growth rate will be north of the market growth rate. So we are saying that somewhere between 15 to 18% would be what would be the growth that we should be looking at.
Get into a break then. On the other side, a chat on the commodity segment. Stay tuned. Welcome back. It's cooled off a bit from the highs of the day. So markets, the Nifty, if you pull up the intraday chart, had crossed that 10,850 mark. So from there, we've lost about 20 odd points. So a bit of profit booking has come through. Keep your eye out on a couple of these metal names like Tata Steel, Hindalco. They're down close to about 2% from the top of the day. Yes Bank, ONGC too have slipped as we speak. But let's turn our attention then to the commodity space. Sumit Bagadia joins in now. Sumit, hi. Good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining in. First, if you could walk us through the reason for buying crude, what's going into that, your thesis?
Hi, Rima. Good afternoon. Well, as far as crude is concerned, in last couple of weeks, what we have seen is that crude has given a correction from higher levels. And now looking at the chart, it seems that there is a possibility that we might see some support in NYMEX crude at $63, $64. And from lower levels, we have seen some pullback. Now, this on chart, it seems that this pullback can extend, and on high side, we can see move till $68 or $69. If that happens, then in MCX, we can see levels of around 45, 70, 4600 as an immediate target. So for a trading perspective, one can initiate long positions in crude June contract at around 44.70, 44.80 levels, which is the current market price, with a stop loss to be placed at 44.10 levels on lower side for the upside target of 45.70 and 4600 levels in the next couple of days.
All right, but you have your strategies on nickel as well as silver?
Yes, absolutely right. See, most of the commodities are looking good on charts. As far as the view on silver is concerned, there is a possibility that we might see a move around 600 to 700 points in silver. So for a trading perspective, one can initiate long positions in silver July contract at around 4,500, 4,600 levels, which is the current market price, with a stop loss to be placed at 4,200 levels on lower side for the upside target of 41,000 and 41,300 levels in the next couple of days. And most of the base metals are looking good to me. We have selected nickel as a commodity to trade in. One can initiate long positions in nickel June contract at around 1020, 1030 levels, with a stop loss to be placed at 1010 levels on lower side. And on higher side, we can expect 1060 and 1080 levels in the next couple of days.
Okay. Thank you, Sumit, for that. For the markets, off about 25-30 points from the top of the day. The street focus will be on more granular details of the agreement which has been signed between the US President Donald Trump as well as the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. So yes, it's been a historic day in terms of the fact that the two leaders met and signed an agreement, but we're still sketchy on the details. So focus will be on that, and I guess markets getting a bit edgy ahead of the press conference which is lined up. With that, it's a wrap on Halftime Report. Stay tuned. Business Lunch will take the market action forward.